If we are doing your top four then, so we've got Man City, we've got Liverpool.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're saying Spurs as well.
I think Spurs, and I think Chelsea will be there again.
I think Chelsea as well.
Yeah, I think Chelsea will be there again. I think the unrest that they've had, the Lukaku situation hasn't been ideal for them. I think his recruitment's been good. I think we'll still see more recruitment from them. And I just think they've got that nucleus of a squad and a base of players that know how to win. Arsenal have done well in that market. I like them. Got to keep a close eye on them. Manchester United, unknown quantity. Who knows what's going to happen? Players have come in of quality. I think they've still got a lot to move, a lot of dead wood, if you like, in the squad that the manager's not going to want. So I think we're talking now with a good few weeks left in the window. I think there's a lot of trading still to be done at Manchester United. But I think that the top four for me will be City, Liverpool.
Oh, what you saying, City to win it?
City to win, yeah, City to win. Liverpool behind, and then Tottenham and Chelsea, either way.
I think it's going to be a good race, regardless of that four, whoever it plays out. What about Newcastle? Obviously, again, this team that came in, big money, loads of money, right? Yeah. They haven't really spent it like we expected them to spend it. Do you think Newcastle might make a charge for a European spot?
Look at the way that they finished last year. I mean, they were almost dead set relegated at Christmas. Myself, ex-players, pundits, you looked at the league and you went, well, they're gone. And Newcastle were in that bracket. Eddie Howe, he's done fantastically well. There was question marks when he went there, whether he could do it. And I think the big thing from my point of view, he signed players to get him out of that situation.
Yeah.
You know, yes, they've got a huge amount of money, but there's no point in going to sign 6 world-class players who've never been in a relegation battle before. He needed players who could get them out of their current situation. And I think he's done that this window as well. He's bought players.
Chris Woods.
Correct. And he's bought and he's buying players now to take them onto the next level. They're not going to go out spending hundreds of millions because there's the financial fair play line that they've got to toe. Yeah. You know, the sponsorship and the revenue, the club and players' wages, everything's got to be taken into account. So if they go throw hundreds of millions around, they've got to find it somewhere. Sponsorship and revenue, players' wages, the books have got to balance. So I think the way that he's done it has been credible, and I think the way that they finished last year in the top half of the table, they'll be very much looking to pick up where they left off last year. I think if you ask the manager realistically what would be their aims this year, he'd say probably a top half finish. Yeah. But I think looking at the squad, the players that they've got, they could push for an outside European place.
Do you think there'll be a surprise team? I guess in the last sort of 4 or 5 seasons, the teams that have maybe surprised a lot of people, West Ham under David Moyes surprised a lot of people, and Leicester have surprised. Leicester have dropped off a bit. West Ham have finally got a striker in. I think Scamacca's come in from City. Do you expect West Ham to kind of still be thereabouts? That's
a big test for them this year. Yeah. That's a big test because David Moyes has signed players and he's evolved that team. And I think they reached their peak when they were probably sitting 3rd, 4th in the Premier League. And it was a case of could they stay there? And I think their squad was too thin. It was too threadbare, and I think that's what cost them last year. They often get linked with players at a certain level and they never get the deals over the line. Yeah. They were linked to Rafinha, Calvin Phillips, Tarkowski at Burnley. They always seem to be in the mix. But I'm sure West Ham fans are fed up with the deals not actually getting over the line. With the striker coming in now, that gives them another option. I still think they're light in the squad. I think they need more players, but I think that'll be their biggest test, is to stay there this year. I think Leicester have to go again. There's talk that Maddison might leave. He's linked with Newcastle again today, I saw that. So there's potential for them to rejuvenate their squad. And you know, I like what Forest have done. I really do.
Really,
I like the football that they play. I think they could be.
Almost a bit like Sheffield United a couple of seasons ago.
But they play a different style. And I think the way that Steve Cooper's, what he's done there in the short time he's been there, he's brought a lot of players in, so they have to hit the ground running. But I think the way that they play could surprise a few people.
And I hate doing this, free to get relegated, but someone's going to get relegated, aren't they? Who do you think might struggle? Teams that are Bournemouth, Fulham.
Bournemouth and Fulham will struggle. I think they will. And you look at the wage bills. I mean, as much as you don't want to say it, Leeds are down there as well. As much as I think Forest could be the surprise package, they're obviously going to be in the mix. So there's going to be 4 or 5. Those 4 teams, I think Forest might get out of it. Yeah. And there's always one that drops in towards the end.
Last season.
I can't see them being in the same place though.
Really?
I can't. I mean, we know their financial problems, their financial fair play line that they have to toe, the amount of money that club spent, grossly overspent on the wrong players in the last 3 or 4 seasons. That's going to be difficult. I mean, Frank doesn't seem to have any luck with the clubs that he goes to. With Derby, financially, they were in a mess. Chelsea went back and they were transfer embargoed. And now he's gone into this Everton where he's having... It's been a steep learning curve in the transfer market for him. But I think Dele Alli's performed in pre-season. He's scored goals. And I think he'll be a different player in a team that's doing well. it's very, very hard to rely on a player like Dele when you're in a battle.
Yeah.
Managers 9 times out of 10 will go for a rigid team, a team that's hard to beat, rather than a fair player, a luxury player. And I think if Everton start doing well, I think you'll see a different Dele Alli next year as well.